Get started. So this is section 6, which has been all about the advanced strategies, and this is lesson number 2. So we're going to be discussing all of the strategies that have been that are some of the more advanced and complex strategies that are really going to help you take your game over the top into the next level. Lesson 2 is specifically talking about the continuation bet. What is the continuation bet? So continuation bets refer to when you make a raise before the flop and continue to show strength when the flop comes around by betting more regardless of what comes out. So example, if you're playing 1-2 no limit and you get one caller after making a $6 raise before the flop, we end up making a continuation on the flop, or continuation bet on the flop by betting another $12. So when you signify strength before the flop, your goal is to raise that hand, and then as soon as you get to the flop, especially if you're in a one-on-one situation, there's a 50-50 chance that your opponent hit something or didn't hit something. But to continue showing your signified strength, you always continuation bet your hand by adding more into the flop, because oftentimes this is going to signify too much strength to your opponent, causing them to fold unless they have hit one of the better hands. So why is the continuation bet effective? Well, it's useful because it makes your opponent make a tough decision. Even if you do not have a good hand, your pre-flop and flop aggression gives out the appearance that you must be sitting on something very strong. The opponent should not make this call unless they are also sitting with a great hand, so it allows you to really gauge where your opponent stands. There's a very good chance that you pick up pots from players with mediocre or weak hands, or hands that just simply did not hit. How to make a successful continuation bet. So number 1, you need to bet 70 to 100% of the pot. Number 2, you need to have a hand that has some kind of potential, whether it's a draw, a pair, etc. Something needs to be there. And number 3, do not forget to also bet similarly when you actually do have a strong hand. So the biggest leak or flaw I see in sometimes people's games is when they end up bluffing on the continuation bet, they might put in like $8, but when they have a strong hand, they might bet $20. That's like a clear indication or a clear signal telling me like, okay, one is a bluff bet and one is a solid bet, and that's how I can read other opponents. So you don't want to be one of those players that can be read. So if you bet, let's say $12 each time, whether you have the hand or not, it's going to be very difficult to really gauge where you stand. And lastly, how often should you continuation bet? Well, most successful players almost always make a continuation bet on the flop regardless of what cards come out. I don't recommend it because this isn't the best strategy, so you really need to find your comfort zone. I recommend continuation betting around 65% of the time. I really look for one-on-one situations and some kind of potential to make a hand. If I do end up getting called, I'm not trying to just go in there completely blank where I have 0% chance of winning a hand. And this number can really change, though, depending on the types of players I'm playing against as well. So if I'm playing on a tighter table and I know these players are going to fold unless they have one of the very best hands, I might be more prone to continuation betting, maybe increase that number to about 80% of the hands because I have a better chance of being able to bluff and take the pot. So you really need to feel your way around the table. But this is what continuation bets are, and this is how important continuation betting is in poker. And this is a great strategy to make a lot of additional profits and money while on the table. So that's it for this section. I'll catch you guys in the next one.